probably about half an hour if I didn't put in all of the fittings and pay that much attention to window sizes. But you know, you sort of think to yourself, that used to be easy 2 days work.
Yeah. That is incredible.
But yeah, now you pay a little bit of money and
you've got it.
You've got it all. And
fantastic.
And if you're really clever, you can use these 360 cameras and overlay it all, so you've got a virtual model. So once we've got all that, what that means is if people come back to us and ask maintenance questions,
yes,
we can actually actively and relatively accurately price things without having to go back. So we add to that. Eventually we'll get to just-in-time maintenance, and you know,
got the switch for that. I only saw it and I thought we're waiting on the electrician to come.
What is that? Sensor on the middle
one. It's safe to work, but the middle knob broke.
Just packed the tantrum. Oh well, that's cheap and easy. Alright. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Alright, all our soft closers are doing what they're meant to. Window here again, undercover, he's pretty good. So these ones I'm interested in, obviously retrofit with double glazing, which really helps the survivability of the window because you don't get the condensation levels. So that's actually looking really quite good, and we know that they've had a painter in and around. We've gone granite all the way out, which is fantastic, and hard work. They did good, they did good. Now our brick structure, Fisher and Paykel, so we've updated all these, absolutely maximal fridge size in there. Gas fire here again, should have a remote somewhere safe. Look, in honesty, it's modern enough that you know it's highly likely to work. Same rules apply though. Wherever you've got gas appliances, get them serviced. One of the things I like to recommend with gas, less of an issue with ducted fires admittedly, is put a carbon monoxide sensor in. It's not a shabby idea. Some sort of heat transfer system through. That's just a good old-fashioned heater up there. And of course pre-wired for sound and everything else. Our lights we've looked at, and let's just briefly do this. Not sure what our wee doorbell here is made of. Looks hardwired. Should have asked the question. I will ask the question. So that's our fan up there. Oh, there's them down the way. Right, that's off. Yes, and gas. So as I said, I highly recommend carbon monoxide and gas sensors in this case. Pantry. Ooh. Wallpaper lining's pretty good. Question for you, what's this wee button up here for? Call bell to up top?
My daughter
right.
over there to say tea's ready.
I thought it might be something like that.
Yeah.
I thought rather than pushing the button and opening all your garage doors or whatever, better ask.
Yeah.
Okay. We will do a toilet now. Oh, look, tiles are in pretty dang good order. Look, the main thing with tiles, and these guys have done this, is always to stay on top of both the grout cleaning and the grout sealing. And what that's going to do for you is make sure that any water beads up and keep the staining of the grout to a minimum. You can't stop it outright because it's porous. Now I actually like this. The head's a little bit worn, it would seem. Everyone works just a little differently. So that doesn't have its rubber ring, so a little bit of just a new rubber ring around that and a bit of cleaning should be well, I think. You'll probably find you never actually need to shut the plug hole anyway. Now, toilet is well fitted. Look at this, the sills are in good order. Oh, most people don't bother painting their sills on the inside, they just leave the window shut and paint around it. So it's really nice to see a house that is thoroughly maintained as opposed to visually maintained. Latches working, plastic latches, but you've got a wee little key that you can put in there and open them if you need to. You can actually do it with a flathead screwdriver if you must. Okay, laundry. Yes. So you got your secondary fridge out here. Obviously with the brick space in there, you're a bit limited for fridge size. We can see our dryer is ducted. Now I am a big fan of heat pump dryers because they're cheap to run and they don't release any moisture into the air. Well ducted dryers are pretty good. The order for me goes well ducted dryer, better than that is a condensing dryer, and better than that is a heat pump dryer. But if it's well ducted and it's already there, that's fine and dandy. I wouldn't change anything. Right, windows are holding together well. This one is the exterior. Of course you have the latching. Alright.
We'll head away.
Pleasure to meet. I'll probably still be here for a wee while yet, but
oh, yeah.
I expect about 2.5-ish hours for
Oh,
this one.
you'll be here when we get back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, have fun getting out the driveway and back in. Now, cabinetry here. Okay, they didn't put soft closers on these. That's no great surprise. It's a utility area. It's well, we don't tend to spend on the creature comforts for utilities. It's quite nice actually having the extra bench space. You could almost call it a butler's pantry. We have our waist down here. She's pretty cool. That's all good. Go off and away, and off and away. And our old alarm system, but still currently serviced. So hence our PIRs inside and whatnot. Yeah, I mean it is quite an old one. No interfacing digital stuff. Oh, that's all right. That's your house. I think you're allowed to be. Oh, I thought you were going to say dog. Good paintbrush. Have a drink. All right, we've looked in the closets here. Now we're into bathroom. So we have nice, lights. Fan is in place. It might be on a timer. And of course an LCD here as well for power, provision, shaving, blah blah blah. Subfloor heating, set at 19 degrees. I think our ambient temperature is probably that today. So, right. Door's locked. See you later. Oh, I'll still be here when you get back, I suspect, but have fun.
Good on you. Thanks, John.
Have a good one. Alright. Now what we're going to do, that's what we're going to do. Ooh, 20 degrees. So that's not on at the moment obviously because the set is 19 and it's at 19.4. Ambient temperature is higher. Heater. Scope is generally a good brand, and to be honest you don't tend to have too many problems with them even when they're 30 years old. So you just start to get those starts of breakdown in here, and it's partially because you're single glazed and it's partially because you've got blinds, which means it won't be looked at as frequently. So a pro tip, blinds you can see the way you want them when you've got a shower here, but at the same time do make sure that you lift them every now and again and just take a good look at what your windows are doing. Nice, there we go. Okay, again, window, it's even painted on the bottom edge, so long story short, this was built and has been maintained as a quality place. I'm not seeing any scare signs so far, with the caveat, obviously pay serious attention to your wood conservatory. The classic. This happens every time. So what happens over time is these do get a bit gummed up and they get quite problematic to undo when this happens.
Still here.
Oh, good. I'll just tell you, I've bunged your flipping plug down, which sometimes happens. Do you mind if I spend a little bit of effort to unplug it?
Oh, no, go for it. Whatever.
Cool.
Is it? Oh, is it?
They sometimes do this. They get a bit of gunk around them and they get sticky.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get caught because you push it down, you're supposed to test these things, and then they stick and you go, so technically you're not supposed to faff about with things, but
Oh, you can.
excellent, thank you. Alright, now I might actually come back and do my faffing about, so we, yeah, we'll do that. It's always fun, it's always fun. That'd be nice. This is well fitting, we can call it that. So what happens specifically is you just get that human slime building up in the plug hole, and it builds up on the underside and the clicking mechanism. So you can generally clean and lubricate them and that tends to solve it, but it's just a frustration getting there. So in this case, what we'll do, with permission, just make sure our trap height is right, so water's going to go from there to there. Push that one down, and be nice to make these. There, and that to go to there. Let's hope that this one's long enough to do what I want it to do. There we are. Now we've got a couple of drops of, done.